When we found out that we were pregnant, we were hit with the immense responsibility.
I definitely wasn't familiar with everything that goes into being a mother. I wasn't familiar with what birth plans were.
And we didn't really know how to tackle that.
It was terrifying.
I started to fall for it. I started to think that his promise of a better life if I got the abortion would happen.
Welcome to the 2025 Stanton Virtual Gala, a time to celebrate lives saved, hope renewed, and the generosity that makes it all possible. Our message this year is simple yet powerful. Every brave decision deserves support. You'll meet women whose courage reminds us why this mission matters so deeply. I'm Caitlin Bohr, and both my husband and I count it an honor to give of our time and resources to stand with the ministry of Stanton. And we join you in supporting this exceptional ministry. We're grateful you've chosen to stand with women facing unexpected pregnancies, offering not only medical care and resources, but the dignity and compassion every woman deserves. Together, we can ensure that in a post-Roe America, no woman has to walk alone. This year at Stanton, we've seen incredible victories worth celebrating. When an abortionist here in Idaho brought forth a resolution to prevent centers in our state from providing life-affirming care, we stood strong, successfully defending our ability to provide compassionate, life-affirming medical care.
The accusations made within the resolution are not only damaging and completely false, but they are anti-healthcare and anti-woman.
Together with our medical team, we held a press conference on the steps of the state capitol, where Stanton moms got to publicly share our message and ensure women's voices were heard. We presented at the Idaho Medical Association's annual meeting, where our staff gave a strong defense of Stanton's work and the vital services we provide. Because of this united effort, we were able to protect Stanton and other life-affirming clinics across the state. Our team represented Stanton on the national stage in Washington, D.C., attending the Students for Life Summit, Marching for Life, and speaking out in front of Planned Parenthood.
We must strive for a culture where the individual, the community, and the political world and our nation actually value life.
We were invited to attend the oral arguments at the U.S. Supreme Court regarding two critical cases on abortion. Our founder, Brandy, was invited to share Stanton's story on an international stage at the She Leads UK Summit at Windsor Castle, speaking to influential women from around the world about the life-saving power of abortion pill reversal.
Well, it was such a wonderful time in fellowship with about 40 Christian women from She Leads America and She Leads UK. It was a faith organization founded by the Reverend Elizabeth Doyle. And I spoke to about 60 to plus people in their group about God working in our lives at the toughest points and the miracles, much like from my former New York Times #1 bestseller, Faith Still Moves Mountains. And then an amazing connection with Her Royal Highness Duchess Sophie. She's married to King Charles's brother Edward. Duchess Sophie and I spoke briefly about faith and TV news. She is bold about her belief in God, inspiring Christians in the UK to lean toward prayer.
Brandy Swindell, founder and CEO of Stanton Healthcare International. We are a movement of life-affirming medical clinics. We have several clinics throughout the states, and then of course, Bernie runs Stanton Healthcare Belfast. We also have a public policy center in Washington, D.C., so we can serve as a voice for women. I wanted to share with you today about the global trend and really crisis we are seeing, which is mail order abortions, abortion by mail, and that is the abortion pill. Abortion now is in the palm of a woman's hand, or anybody's hand, including her abuser, her angry boyfriend, the pimp, whoever it might be. You can snatch up that abortion pill and put it into a smoothie or a milkshake, and she never knows. She thinks she just had a spontaneous miscarriage. It's really, really serious what we have happening right now. And in America, 65% of all abortions are through the abortion pill. Here in the UK, the studies I looked at, Linda, you may have the better stats than me, but it's north of 80% of abortions in the UK are by the abortion pill. And it's completely legal here in the UK to have them mailed to you. There's still restrictions in the US, but in the UK during the pandemic, it was free reign. So it's very unregulated. You can't really regulate an abortion pill like that. Nefarious actors, bad actors, China's producing them, India's producing them, Mexico. I mean, it's like a drug cartel thing. We need to pay attention. We need to educate our pastors, our youth pastors, parents, families, school teachers, medical providers. This is terrifying. We have a global fentanyl crisis. Now we have an abortion pill crisis, and everyone should be terrified. But there's hope. We serve an amazing God.
At Stanton alone, 8 lives have been saved because of abortion pill reversal, and globally, 7,000 lives have been saved. This life-saving treatment offers women a second chance when they experience the sting of regret when they start a chemical abortion. Yet it continues to face opposition from the abortion industry. Stanton's letter urged ACOG to prioritize women's health, informed consent, and true medical options, rather than bowing to political pressure. By standing firm, Stanton amplified the voices of countless women who deserve real choices and compassionate care. We are thankful Stanton's medical staff has been trained in the life-saving protocol of abortion pill reversal.
Our first ever community diaper drive with the Human Bean Coffee Shop at all 11 of their locations turned community generosity into thousands of dollars worth of diapers and wipes for moms and babies. We also welcomed amazing new team members whose expertise strengthens every part of our mission and benefits the women we serve. Through a new client-facing campaign at Boise State University and online, we distributed period care kits and promoted holistic women's healthcare as a life-affirming alternative to Planned Parenthood. With more women coming to Stanton than ever before, we have countless reasons to celebrate, and even more reason to press forward with hope, compassion, and unwavering commitment.
I was with my boyfriend at the time for a couple years, and we were just on the same page about life. We were on the same page about marriage and wanting kids. My name is Sara, and I'm 31 years old. We became pregnant, and about 12 weeks along, I ended up having a miscarriage on my bathroom floor. We ended up getting pregnant again. At first, he was very accepting and very excited. And then about a week into it, he just changed his mind. He got very aggressive in the way that he changed his mind. He started calling me at all hours of the night and trying to convince me that an abortion was better. He would show up to my house and try and love bomb me with flowers and food and attention that he knew I so desperately craved from him. I started to fall for it. I started to think that his promise of a better life if I got the abortion would happen. The appointment was made, and so my boyfriend and I had drove up to Ontario, and he let me walk inside the building. Walking into the Planned Parenthood, that was scary. I started talking to the woman behind the counter, and it was behind glass. I started crying, and she had just told me to quiet down because I was scaring people. The moment I set foot in the building, my gut became very sure of my decision to not go through with the abortion. I went back out into the truck, and he drove me home. And I allowed my boyfriend to think that I had taken the abortion pill. I allowed him to think that for about a week. And then I made a phone call to him and told him the truth. The coercion began again. He showed up to my house, and he cried and got down on his knees and begged for me to think of him and how this would affect his life and how the baby would not be a good member of society without a father, how I would not be a good woman if I brought a baby into the world by myself, and how I should think about the well-being of my child and my other children at home. The next thing he said to me was, "We're going to make another appointment, and I'll drive you back up there. And I'm gonna go in with you this time to make sure that you do it." At first when he said that we would reschedule, I said, okay. I said, let's go ahead and do that. I was so sad. I was so scared. I was just really afraid because I was doing this on my own, and I knew what it meant if I chose to keep the baby. He was at work, so he let me get off the phone, and that's when I started a different plan to figure out how to go about my pregnancy and raise the baby on my own without him. I reached 12 weeks of pregnancy, and that is when I sent him a piece of paper saying that abortions are not legal anymore, and he got incredibly angry, and at that point I blocked contact. I have never felt more alone than having to stand on my own 2 feet, saying that I want to keep the life of my child.
Across the nation, more than 27 Planned Parenthood abortion clinics have closed since the start of 2025. And on June 26, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of South Carolina, affirming that states can lawfully exclude Planned Parenthood from Medicaid. This year marked a turning point. Planned Parenthood, once the dominant face of abortion access, is rapidly declining. But as its influence wanes, a new threat emerges, one that demands our full attention and shows us why the fight is far from over. Chemical abortion has surged to the forefront. 63% of all abortions now occur through the abortion pill, making it the most common method of pregnancy termination. Easy to access through the mail, self-administered, and requiring no physical assessment. Abortion and the abortion clinic are now in the palm of a woman's hand. The next 3 to 5 years will determine whether it becomes normalized or resisted. Every financial supporter, volunteer, and advocate must recognize the critical urgency.
I found out I was pregnant in 21. I was only with them for 2 months before I found out I was pregnant, so it was very unplanned and scary. I'm Darion. I'm from Caldwell, Idaho, and I am 32 years old. I wasn't working at the time, so I didn't have an income or a steady support group aside from my family to help me. There were obviously things involved in the whole giving birth and leading up to the birth that I wasn't entirely familiar with. Through Stanton, I was educated. I was offered things that definitely mentally and physically prepared me more.
I had heard about Stanton on a radio ad, and I just figured it was at least a step that we could take to figure out what to do about this unexpected positive pregnancy test. I'm Audrey. I'm a mom of soon-to-be 3. My oldest is 3 years old, and when we first found out we were pregnant with her, my husband and I were not trying to get pregnant. We were pretty scared. We weren't making a lot of money at the time, and although we never considered an abortion, we just didn't know what to do. When you walk into Stanton, you're met with a receptionist there at the desk. She greets you with a smile, asks your name. We met Angie, who sat down and talked to us about, were we planning to get pregnant, and do we have any support at home, and just kind of what our situation looks like. And then we went from there to take a pregnancy test and confirm that we were pregnant, and then we did an ultrasound where we got to see our baby girl. There's just so many things to help us feel excited and not scared when it came to welcoming this new life into our family, and we felt like with God's help and with Stanton's help, we could truly get through this pregnancy. And even after my daughter was born, they continued to support us by giving us diapers and wipes and even formula, and just was that village, that support system that's so necessary when you are not just dealing with unexpected pregnancies, but just being pregnant in general.
Our Meridian Clinic is busier than ever, serving women with professional, compassionate care. From pregnancy testing and ultrasounds to options counseling and abortion pill reversal, our AAHC accredited medical team provides confidential services in a welcoming environment. As more women come through our doors, each visit is a sacred opportunity to walk beside someone making a brave and life-changing decision, offering her the hope, support, and resources she needs to confidently choose life. In Boise, our Stanton Wellness Center focuses on equipping and empowering women for long-term success. Here, clients receive essential baby and maternity supplies, parenting and life skills classes, emotional and spiritual support, and access to community resources. In the last year, our supply requests have increased by more than 134%. The Wellness Center is also a place of ongoing connection, where women and families are encouraged, celebrated, and supported beyond their initial appointment, ensuring they have everything they need to thrive in all areas of life.
They make you feel at home, and I think that true friendships have been developed just because of the heart that these women pour into their ministry.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hoffman. I'm one of the licensed RDMS sonographers here at Stanton.
I'm Faith Boyd, and I'm a registered nurse with 22 years of experience, and I volunteer at Stanton Wellness.
I'm Taylor Garnica, Stanton's Director of Ministry Outreach. I came to Stanton with a background in pastoral ministry and college youth outreach.
Every day, I have the privilege of showing women a window into their womb. When they see that tiny flicker of their baby's heartbeat for the very first time, you can feel hope come alive. That moment changes everything. It reminds women that there really is life growing inside of them and that they are not alone. I absolutely love what I do because I get to witness that beautiful reality every single day.
I have the privilege of walking alongside women through childbirth education, CPR classes, and other resources that empower them with the confidence to choose life and to step into motherhood with strength. The outcomes are powerful. Our moms not only choose life, but are equipped to parent well and truly thrive.
I carry a deep passion for this mission. One thing I believe with all my heart is that men must stand with Stanton. This isn't just a women's issue. It impacts all of us. As men of faith, we are called by God to support women facing unexpected pregnancies. Often, women don't have the support of their boyfriend or a husband or even family, but that's where we can step in and fill the gap. We can be that unflinching support, and for those fathers who want to be engaged but maybe don't know the best way, we can guide and support them towards being the best dad they can be.
As I scan, I often find myself praying, not only for the babies in the womb, but for the people that they one day will become. Teachers, leaders, maybe the next Billy Graham. I also pray for their moms, that they will feel supported and empowered to choose life. Your support makes that possible. Because of you, I get to do what I love, standing beside women in their most vulnerable moments and giving them hope for the future.
I know when my wife and I had our baby, it changed our life. Praying with and supporting our Stanton dads is a vital part of our outreach, and I'm thankful I get to be a part of it. Healthy moms and dads make for healthy families and strong communities.
I was offered prenatals, ultrasounds, parenting classes. When I had trouble making it or attending classes, they offered transportation or help with gas. They cared about my mental health and my mental well-being throughout the duration of my pregnancy. They want to see you succeed and thrive, and they offer resources to help us do that, so we feel like we're not alone.
I had a girlfriend tell me Stanton, where I could get help with a pregnancy test, and then I had my miscarriage. And they were incredibly supportive through that whole thing, making sure I was okay and healthy. And it wasn't until I had gotten pregnant again that I came back in. They remembered me. They remembered my story from the first time, and their support just didn't waver.
On her final visit, she came in to let us know that she had an abortion scheduled the next day at Planned Parenthood in Ontario, a chemical abortion, which is very unusual. Most clients don't come in to tell us that, but she did. It was an opportunity for us to do another ultrasound, to have further dialogue about choices for her life, for her child's life, to really try to get her to identify with her identity as a mother, as well as the humanity of the baby. At that juncture, all any of us could do is pray that she didn't go through with the abortion. So the next morning, I was thinking about her, and I just shot her a simple text. I said, honey, you don't have to do this. You have options. And we never heard from Sara again. About 16 months later, there was a young woman at the front desk that came in, and she wanted to show us the baby, and it was Sara. And she was happy and smiling and clearly at peace with her choice. You never know the impact of what you may say or do, and just the simple reaching out of, you have choices, you don't have to do this, had a huge impact on her.
In 2025, we've celebrated so much together. Lives saved, mothers supported, babies welcomed, and victories in the public square. So far this past year, we served 655 clients, 304 babies were born, and 278 babies are due by the end of the year. But the numbers you hear aren't just statistics. Each one represents a mother who found hope. Stanton is more than a clinic. We are a movement. We are a solution to the challenges women face and the answer to the growing threat of abortion in all its forms.
Through becoming a mom and now having 2 kids with a third on the way, I have found so much purpose and a calling in motherhood. I truly believe that God has designed us women for this ministry of raising the next generation. And I think that that's the biggest thing that I've found in motherhood is that I've grown, I've developed, I've matured, I've been chiseled away of my old self, and now I'm this new person that God has designed to raise these kids.
Ruby is wonderful. He is full of life, and he brings light to my day, every single day. As an artist, a lot of things that we like to do is to create something beautiful, create something that resonates with other people. Choosing to have a child, you're creating something that's unique and special that's going to have an impact on this world. And that's one of the most beautiful ways that we can create and contribute in this life.
Did my pregnancy on my own, and I have to say that God put me in that position to show me how strong I am and that I didn't need to believe someone who would tell me that they loved me when I knew that I could love myself more than that. God played a big hand in this scenario. Who he chose for me as a baby was perfect. Forrest fills all the cracks, everything with love, and I know that's God. He made Forrest so special. He was created to be here with us.
We can't support women without your support. Will you prayerfully consider giving your most generous gift to help meet the needs of women in our community and beyond? Planned Parenthood has received hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars to push their agenda, and yet they still charge women for every single service. How can that even be? This is a profit-driven industry that doesn't truly care for women. At Stanton, it's different. Every single service we offer is provided at no charge to the women who walk through our doors. But it's not without expense. There are hard costs from our sonographers to the ultrasound machines and the buildings we operate out of. Just last year, we provided $670,000 in life-affirming medical care and tangible resources for moms and their babies. We had over 4,552 care visits across our healthcare, mobile, and wellness clinics because of your faithful support. That's why your gift matters. God has prepared us for this moment. With your generosity, Stanton is growing to meet this challenge as we reach more women than ever before. We have 2 key areas of expansion. We've already outgrown our Meridian Clinic. While we'll maintain this location, we plan to expand to additional space located nearby. Also, a wonderful couple who has supported Stanton for years has committed to covering the cost of half a customized mobile medical Sprinter van. This new Stanton Mini Mobile will allow us to reach underserved communities in mountain towns across the state of Idaho, making sure that every single woman has access to life-affirming care going into 2026. Our current mobile will remain stationed across state lines at the Planned Parenthood in Ontario, Oregon. Through our Public Policy Center outreach, we are in the public square addressing urgent issues like abortion abuse and sharing powerful stories like Sara's, as well as protecting abortion pill reversal rights and pushing for investigations into the dangers of the abortion pill. We're also launching our international outreach. We're excited to announce the launch of our Be Well baby boxes. These boxes will be filled with maternity and baby supplies and will be available at our clinics here locally and will also be delivered all over the world in developing countries. Our period care kits, where trust begins, are reaching college campuses and young women with the resources they need for women's health care, giving them a life-affirming alternative to Planned Parenthood.
From October 23rd to November 7th, every gift will be doubled up to $200,000. Making your generosity go twice as far. Twice the ultrasounds, twice the counseling, twice the lives saved. For 2 weeks only, you can help us meet this match and ensure every woman who turns to Stanton is met with the care, compassion, and resources she needs to choose life. $100 provides a pregnancy test, compassionate care, and hope. $1,000 equals the cost of one abortion, but can instead provide healing retreats or ongoing pregnancy support. $10,000 covers 18 months of care for 2 Stanton moms, from medical services to baby supplies. No matter the size, your gift offers hope, healing, and life. Please prayerfully consider your most generous gift to help Stanton serve more women than ever. There are 3 easy ways to give. Scan the QR code on the screen, visit stantongala.com and click Donate, mail a check with Gala in the memo line to Stanton Healthcare, 2176 East Franklin Road, Suite 130, Meridian, Idaho, 83642. Your gift of any size will be put to immediate use in our Idaho clinics. No gift is too small or too big. To our Stanton moms, like Darion, Audry, and Sara, your courage inspires us. And to our partners, thank you. Your generosity makes this work possible. Every brave decision deserves support, and together we are building a future where every woman is loved, every child is welcomed, and every life is valued.
When you give to Stanton, you're not just meeting today's needs, you're investing in our future, a future where we continue saving lives, serving women, and transforming our culture for generations to come. Thank you for standing with Stanton.